Tuning in, we just talked about physical properties, which are basically physical relationships between the particles of matter. In other words, what can you see? What can you measure? What can you observe about an object without changing the object? So if I wanted to measure you, how tall you are, right? I don't have to change anything about you. I can just take out a measuring tape and see how tall you are. On the other hand, if I wanted to see how you react with acid, I would probably have to change something about you there, right? So physical properties are things that you do not have to change in something to be able to measure them. For instance, density, ductility, and conductivity, those are all in your book, right? Basically how heavy something is, how tall, those are all physical properties. And right now, Laura just gave us the definition of chemical properties. And what are chemical properties is how matter acts in the presence of other materials. Did you guys know, what is one of the worst punishments that people have in jail, for people that misbehave in jail? Anybody know? What's one of the things that they say people, they hate it? It messes with their minds. People don't come out the same afterwards.
Solitary confinement?
Yes, very good, Laura. Solitary confinement. When people are put in a cell by themselves, with no interaction with anybody else or the outside world, something changes inside of you. We are social beings. We are made to be in the presence of another. So they say that one of the worst things that you can do to somebody is isolate them, because it does something to their brains. Well, guess what? Chemicals, in the same way, are not really chemicals unless they interact with something else. If I have this marker here, I just put it there, it's not a very interesting marker. On the other hand, if I grab a bottle of just acid and I throw it on that and I see it dissolve and stuff, that's a chemical. So chemical properties are how matter acts in the presence of other materials. What happens when you mix eggs, flour, and milk, and then you put a little heat on it? You get pancakes, right? Some delicious cakes or some kind of pancakes, right? What happens when you grab a piece of Alka-Seltzer, right, and you drop it in a Coke? You get all these bubbles, right? Chemical properties, how one thing acts in the presence of another. Okay, does that make sense?